Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital Tuesday, September 17 recap. Alexis denied bail, sent to Pentonville. Nina and Drew's power couple act. General Hospital, GH. Spoilers recap for Tuesday, September 17, reveals that Stella Henry, Vernie Watson, met Trina Robinson, Tabiana Ali, for breakfast and gave her the nudge she needed to return to PCU for the fall semester. At the Quartermain mansion, Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watrous, pitched Sasha Gilmore Corbin, Sophia Matson, on the idea of catering a fundraiser event for Drew Quartermain, Cameron Matheson. While Nina gushed over Drew, Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen was busy doing yoga near the boathouse. That led to an awkward encounter with Drew after his dip in the lake. Drew caught Willow when she slipped, but Willow excused herself as fast as possible and headed for the Quartermain kitchen. When Willow approached, she eavesdropped for a moment as Nina talked about picking things back up with Drew after the hectic campaign. However, Willow didn't seem to have understood much since she still behaved normally around Nina and made plans for mother-daughter time. Since Nina needed to talk to Drew about the fundraiser, Willow let her know where to find him. When Nina met up with Drew at the boathouse, he was frustrated over being down a few points and not having the same happy family image to promote as his opponent. Drew didn't want to use Scout Quartermain, Cassette Avenanti, like that, so Nina urged him to use her instead. Nina suggested that people would naturally make assumptions about them being a power couple if she started appearing on Drew's arm. Drew seemed surprised that Nina would do that for him, but she insisted she owe him one. Back in the key kitchen, Sasha could tell that Willow was on edge, so she admitted she saw her kissing Drew on the 4th of July. Willow confessed that another kiss had happened since then, but she was desperate to get a grip on her forbidden feelings and avoid Drew. Meanwhile, Sam McCall, temporarily played by Lindsay Hartley, stopped by Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell, office to grill him. That led to Sam acknowledging that they both knew Sonny either killed John Jagger Cates, Adam J. Harrington, himself, or gave the order, so she asked which it was. Michael refused to admit anything incriminating regarding Sonny, so Sam wondered if he'd let innocent Alexis Davis, Nancy Legron, go to prison if it came down to it. Next on Tuesday's GH episode, Molly Lansing Davis, Kristen Vagdanos, showed up at Sonny's place to convince him it was a terrible idea to attend Alexis' bail hearing. Molly didn't want Sonny tainting things by association and suggested they'd figure out a way to pay Alexis bail without him. Sonny ultimately relented on skipping the hearing and urged Molly to support Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mancy, in his place, but she couldn't make any guarantees on that. Michael caught up with Sonny after Molly left, so they traded updates and concerns about all the Davis women. Sonny eventually thought back to Michael having the power to send him to prison after finding him with Kate's body. Since Michael didn't hand his dad over to the cops, that was something Sonny would never forget. Michael would always put their family first, so Sonny and his son expressed their love for each other. At the PCPD, Christina spoke to Alexis in the interrogation room and came clean about driving to the Quartermain mansion with a plan to kill Agent Cates, though she ultimately didn't do it. Christina wanted to confess to the police, but Alexis made a prediction about that creating more trouble for both of them. Alexis had to worry about her arraignment, so she pushed Christina to just keep her mouth shut. Once the Davis girls were seated behind Alexis as a show of courtroom support, the bail hearing began. Although Alexis made a passionate and impressive defense against FBI counsel Reynolds, Jeremy Brandt, Judge Otis, Jim Hanna, still denied her bail and remanded her to Pentonville to await trial. General Hospital spoilers say Alexis' legal nightmare will continue, but there's good news since Martin Gray, Michael E. Knight, is on the way to help. The citizens of Port Charles never fail to bring the drama, and Tuesday, September 17, was no exception. From Alexis' legal nightmare spiraling further out of control to Nina and Drew's escalating power dynamic, this episode was packed with emotional confrontations and unexpected twists. Let's dive into the chaos that unfolded. #Alexis denied bail, sent to Pentonville. Alexis Davis' legal troubles have been mounting for weeks, and today her situation took a turn for the worse. As Alexis entered the courthouse, hopeful that her lawyer would manage to secure her bail, the tension in the air was palpable. Her daughters, Sam McCall and Molly Lansing Davis, were on edge, praying that Alexis' long history as a respected lawyer and upstanding citizen would be enough to keep her from a long stint behind bars. Unfortunately, the courtroom would soon hear a much grimmer fate for Alexis. The district attorney wasted no time in painting Alexis as a danger to society, emphasizing her past struggles with alcohol and the law. The fact that Alexis had once been disbarred after a violent altercation came back to haunt her. Her attempts to live a quiet life seemed meaningless now, as the DA argued that she was still prone to reckless behavior. Despite Alexis' lawyer's passionate plea highlighting her recovery and role as a mother and grandmother, the judge was not swayed. When the judge officially denied her bail, gasps echoed through the courtroom. The words felt like a crushing blow, especially to Alexis, whose face fell into a mask of disbelief and despair. The judge ordered Alexis to be remanded to Pentonville pending trial. It was a shocking moment for everyone involved, and Alexis' family looked on helplessly as she was taken away in handcuffs. The reality of what had just happened began to sink in as Sam and Molly hugged each other, devastated. Alexis' journey to Pentonville signaled the beginning of yet another long, hard road for her. As the prison gates loomed in her near future, the question on everyone's mind was clear. How will Alexis survive her time in Pentonville? With old enemies lurking in the shadows of her past and an uncertain legal battle ahead, Alexis' future has never been more precarious. #### Nina and Drew's power couple act. Meanwhile, across town, Nina Reeves and Drew Kane found themselves navigating a much different scenario. As the new power couple on the block, they continued to shake up the dynamics in Port Charles, and today's events showed just how serious they were about wielding that power together. Since Drew's return to Port Charles, he and Nina had grown closer, bonding over their shared experiences of loss and trauma. Nina's roller coaster romance with Sonny Corinthos had finally taken a backseat, and she was ready to stand on her own 2 feet in business and love. Drew, fresh from his own tumultuous relationships and heroic escapades, was eager to build something new, something stable, and it seemed Nina was the perfect partner for him to do just that. At the Crimson offices, Nina and Drew strategized their next move. With Drew's corporate acumen and Nina's media savvy, they had their eyes on several Port Charles businesses, each primed for takeover. The two shared a palpable chemistry as they plotted their rise to the top, with Nina's shrewdness and Drew's calculating mind making them a formidable duo. Their latest plan involved expanding Crimson's portfolio and extending influence into ELQ, where Drew still had a stake. Nina's vision for the future was grand, and Drew was more than happy to stand by her side as she rose to new heights. Yet, beneath the surface, their business alliance carried undeniable romantic tension. They exchanged flirtatious glances as they worked together, the sparks between them growing more obvious by the minute. Later, they met with Ned Quartermain and Valentin Cassadine to discuss their proposed business merger. The meeting was tense, with both Ned and Valentin skeptical of Nina and Drew's newfound closeness and ambition. As the negotiations heated up, it became clear that Nina and Drew were more than just business partners. They were a united front, determined to get what they wanted. Nina's transformation from emotionally frazzled to power-hungry mogul was striking. No longer the woman desperate for Sonny's love, she now seemed to relish in her newfound independence and authority. And Drew, with his no-nonsense approach and undeniable charm, was the perfect counterpart. Their meeting with Ned and Valentin ended with a tentative agreement, but the undertones of competition were still there. Nina and Drew left the room with a sense of triumph, though it was clear that their ambitious plans were bound to cause friction within the Port Charles elite. It wasn't just business anymore, it was personal.